What is going on, people? This is the JT Sports Show, episode 24. We got a lot to get into. The Wolves played last night against the Miami Heat. They have won 4 straight games. They play tomorrow night against the Indiana Pacers, who have won 5 straight games. We'll talk about the Wolves in this roller coaster of a season. The Vikings' disastrous game on Sunday against the Cowboys. They play on Thursday night on Thanksgiving. And to join me in this conversation is someone you will recognize the voice and the face of Jackson Borst. Borsty, welcome to the show.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
All right. So last night was the first Wolves game you were at in person. You've been talking about how you have a different perspective when you were at the game versus at home. I've been at all 10 home games this year. Have yet to watch a home game on TV. First, I want to ask you, what do you see differently when you're at the game versus when you're watching on TV? We talked a little bit before the show about some negative things you saw in person, but please elaborate.
Well, you literally notice so much more. Everything's different when you're at the game, especially when you're sitting across from the bench and you see the attitudes of certain guys and the way they communicate. I just think it's much better to go in person when you're watching basketball.
Yeah, I agree, and it depends on where your seats are. You talked about a Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Finch moment. You talked about Karl Anthony Towns not passing the ball, yet he had 9 assists. D'Angelo Russell, we talked about a little before the show, didn't have a great game. Had one good defensive possession, got a lot of praise for it. But the good news is D'Lo's not shooting 13 times a game right now. He's doing when he's shooting well, he is, but when he's not shooting, which is fantastic. That's what we want. Big steps forward for D'Lo because that's not how he usually is. J-Mac, talk about J-Mac. He made four threes, 3 in a row in the third quarter. That was the loudest the crowd has been all season at Target Center by a ton. J-Mac's very important. What are your thoughts on Jordan McLaughlin?
He's fantastic. And I said last night, he should be starting. He is so much better than number 0. He is so much better. It was crazy. Like, he just makes such good decisions all the time. Always makes the right pass. He's great at defense, always getting steals, just brings good energy, and can't say enough good things about him.
What I will say about J-Mac is, yes, I echo everything you said, besides the fact that he should start. No, he should not start because he has a ceiling. You don't want to play him too many minutes because he will get exposed. Besides last night, he was shooting 12% from 3.
Yeah, but that was a little.
I know, but like you can admit he's not a good shooter. He's a good floor general, but like Tyus Jones, he's a fantastic backup. I don't think Tyus Jones would be a great starter. Like he's just he is what he is.
I guess I meant like he should be starting on this team.
No, I don't think he should be. I just think he should be playing a little more minutes and D'Lo maybe a little less. But that doesn't.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I think D'Lo starting is fine right now until they trade him. But
good.
That ant block in the third quarter was something to withhold. I mean, that it was Max Strus driving to the basket and Ant blocked it. He goes down to the other side of the court, takes a step back 3, and everybody knew it was going in because that's
everyone
what Ant
knew.
does.
Yeah.
That
was the most fun play of the game by a mile, and that's when the tide really turned. It was like that huge block. Everyone gets up because they know it's about to happen, and it goes in. So
yeah, I mean, it all sort of turned when he got that technical foul. From there on, I think the Wolves went on like a friggin' 21-4 run. So I don't know if it was the T, but yeah. Besides last night, the team has won 4 straight games. You've been quoted in saying that you're done with this team and you're not watching them anymore. Where do you stand now?
Well, I never missed a game. I just said that when I was pissed off. I mean, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I don't know a lot of the time, but a win is a win, and 4 straight is there's something to be said for that. Got a good Pacers team coming up here. I don't know.
They're not good. They're just getting lucky.
Yeah, it's true. But we'll beat the Hornets, and then I don't know who we have after that. The Warriors, maybe.
So we have a 4-game win streak right now. If we beat the Pacers and the Hornets, which we should win both, we have the Warriors with a 6-game winning streak. That could be a big game at Target Center. It's an early afternoon game on Sunday. That could be a fun one. But so the team has won 4 straight games. I've been on the side of saying give this team 20 games. We are almost to 20 games. And every time I said that, you didn't like it. You didn't like when I said 20 games because you say, are you watching what's going on? I was watching, and I knew that this team has so much talent, and we have a good coach. It was all going to get figured out. And things are starting to turn a little bit here. The offense is starting to click a little bit more. Early in the season, the offense was absolutely trash. The defense is still hit or miss. Like it's sort of all about being locked in, because when they are locked in, they can do whatever they want because they have the length and the athleticism, even though they're a little slow at times. But like Jaden's playing good D, Ant can play good D. Rudy said he's could be the best perimeter defender he's ever seen. But Ant's just got to be locked in for those moments. So the offense is starting to click. The defense can click. I am hopeful for this team. Yeah. I still think they could be a top 6 seed. They're only 2 games back of first place in the West right now.
That's because the West is just wide open. It's wide.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is early in the season, and there's teams like the Warriors who will figure it out eventually, but they're below 500, I think. So
they are.
Even like the Heat last night, and they're in the Eastern Conference, but it's just a good example of, sure, they have injuries right now, but they're just not playing great basketball. Any other thoughts on the Wolves? Because there is another team in town that we should probably hit on, because they are the talk of the town after what happened on Sunday.
Yeah, one more thought would be, I am more optimistic. Like I said, I've liked what I saw the last week now, starting with the Orlando game. So I don't know. We'll see what happens this weekend to see if this is for real, and that they're starting to take it a little more serious on the defensive end. But I don't know. I'm starting to get a little excited now. But
I mean, if I could show these people your text messages, I got you to stop texting me halfway through a game one time because you were so goddamn negative. It was getting bad.
I was done. It was the Phoenix game where it was rock bottom.
It was actually the Cavs game when I had you stop texting me mid-game.
It was?
But, it was Cavs. Even though we were up by a freaking million at the half, you were for some reason negative. And, I got you to stop texting me. But now positive things are happening, like I said.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Vikings, because going into that game on Sunday, we had high hopes. It was goofy all week with Vegas having the line as the Cowboys being favored. But either way, the Vikings shat the bed. Your thoughts?
It was awful. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen. One of the worst performances I've ever seen from this team. And that is saying something.
It's bad.
I mean, there have been some games in like the 2010, 2011, 2013, those years
Christian
were
Ponder.
Dark days. And I still don't think I've seen a worse performance than what we saw, whatever game that was, Sunday.
It almost cannot get worse. Well, 40-3. I mean,
it was awful. It was horrible. I think it's one of the worst matchups in the league for us. Probably the worst, just because of how good they are up front.
Yeah.
And how bad our quarterback is under pressure.
I mean, they're good on the offensive line and the defensive line. And that's especially when we have Darrisaw not playing. We had Dalvin Tomlinson not playing. Like those guys, I guess, make a huge difference. Obviously, we knew Darrisaw, but Dalvin Tomlinson we didn't know. Like, I thought Harrison Phillips could maybe clog up the lane a little bit, but that's not true. I mean, they were running all over us. Tony Pollard looked like a freaking man on a mission out there.
Yeah.
And it gave me flashbacks to that Rams game like 5 years ago when Anthony Barr was stuck on Todd Gurley, when Eric Kendricks was trying to chase Tony Pollard out of the backfield. That was disgusting to watch. But yeah, I think Kevin O'Connell's got to stick to the run more. We were texting about this. You think Dalvin's lost a step? Early in the season, I thought
it's just
so.
a fact. Yeah,
I had thought so. He had a few good games, and I'm more back on the train that maybe he has lost a tiny bit of a step, but he's still a good running back. I mean,
he's still good. He just,
yeah.
If you watch his highlights from 19, 20, 21, that was like the best running back in the league. He just doesn't have it anymore. That extra kind of burst. Like, he doesn't break as much tackles either, which was like his strength, was the breaking of tackles. But whatever, yeah, he's still good. But it's just a killer when we run it on first down. We run on first down. Oh, okay. 2nd and 6. Then we run on second down, gains 3 yards. Okay, now it's 3rd and 3. And then what happens? We drop back.
So you think we ran the ball too much?
Well, I just think we need more from him. I don't really have a problem if we're running it. He just needs to get us more.
So he ran 11 times for 72 yards. Like, that's really good.
Those are skewed. Those are skewed stats.
He had one 17-yard run. That was his longest run. That's good. I mean, averaging 6.5. If you take out that 17-yarder, he's averaging 5. That's good.
Yeah, but that first series killed us.
Well, that wasn't Dalvin's fault.
Yeah, we need more from him. Like I just said, he needs to be getting first downs often.
So you don't want a 3rd and 3?
No.
That's how you have success in this league. Being in
I don't want
to
be on 3rd down ever against the Cowboys.
Well, sure, but you're gonna be in 3rd down. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
And so
there's another one later. There's another one later where it was like first down, or maybe it was like maybe it was 1st and 15 after a false start or something like that. And we give it to Dalvin, and it looked like it could have been a big play. It was kind of like a sweep to him, like where Kirk kind of throws it in the backfield, 2 yards. And then we were faced with another uphill climb where it's like, okay, well, I already know this drive is over now. I hate it.
All right, so going forward, do you think they should run more or less?
Well, I think they should keep running it like a lot, but we just need more from Dalvin. I don't have an issue with like the play calling. It's just that he needs to be better.
Well, I think they need to run more because they're not running enough. And I think Kevin O'Connell is getting to the John DeFilippo's throwback John DeFilippo. Mike Zimmer fired him because he threw the ball every down. He's getting to the point where if we're down, he just throws the ball every down. That's just what he's doing. I don't care if you're down 14 points. You have to stay with the run because Kirk Cousins, when the defense knows that you can just come after him, it can get dangerous. And Kirk is not a great drop back every single down quarterback. We all know that. So I don't care if Dalvin's running for 4 yards, 3 yards a gain. You just have to keep running it. Keep the defense somewhat honest.
You remember in the Super Bowl when Mahomes was just under constant pressure, and that's why they lost? He was facing like a 37%.
I saw that. Yep.
Kirk was 65. Like, so it's hard to put the blame on Kirk because what the hell is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
We saw the best quarterback in the world look terrible when that was the case. And that was nearly half of what Kirk had to deal. But my thing was, it's like, you need to know. Like, you need to know going into it that your Darrisaw's out. Your offensive line, other than Darrisaw, it's been better. But Bradbury's not great pass protection. Cleveland is fine, but it's just you're facing the best pass rushing unit in NFL history. That's the thing. They're the best pass rushing unit in NFL history. You need to know that as soon as this ball gets hiked to me, I just need to start running and getting out of the pocket.
Well, unfortunately, Kirk's not very fast.
Exactly.
You saw what happened on that first drive when he's trying to run outside the pocket. Kirky boy got caught, and he got sack fumble.
That's how you knew it
So
was going to be a bad game. As soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh shit!" So we're gonna lose by 40.
Yeah, Darrisaw didn't look good from the get-go.
Well,
I
that's
don't
because
know
he
if
had a concussion.
yeah, it must have been lingering, but he was getting blown by, something that doesn't happen often. Brian O'Neill was getting blown by. Every single O lineman was getting blown by. It was complete mess. I felt bad for Jim Nance and Tony Romo having to watch it.
I know. I'm not a fan of those guys. Whenever they come here,
I
we
like
lose.
them. Well, it has nothing to do with whether we win or lose with them. It has nothing to do with them. I enjoy listening to them. To each their own. Defensively,
Terrible.
our DB injury, what's going on here is not great because Andrew.
I never
Booth
thought I'd
stinks.
miss Dantzler, but I missed Dantzler.
Well, Dantzler, Caleb Evans looked good when he was playing, and he's hurt. And now we got Andrew Booth, who can't stop crap. And Patrick Peterson's doing what he's doing. Like he played honestly, if I were to point out one player that like did what he was supposed to do was Pat Pete, because he sort of stopped CeeDee Lamb. So yeah.
CeeDee is mid.
No, I disagree. He's very talented. Very, very talented. CeeDee Lamb
Dak
very
does
talented.
suck. You're right. I mean, Dak is not a good quarterback. He's
I
not a
didn't
good
say
quarterback.
that.
No, you didn't. But
you said you're
he
right.
was really talented, and I said, yeah, that's a good point. Dak sucks. Like maybe CeeDee would be doing more if he had a better quarterback. But I don't think.
I mean,
Dak
the
is
week
very
before,
good.
I think he had like 11 for 150.
Well, I'm just saying maybe he could be doing that on a more consistent basis if Dak was better than average.
Dak is overrated.
I've been saying it for like 2 years now. I don't think Dak is very good.
I think he is overrated.
That team is a Super Bowl team with a better coach, and 2, a better quarterback.
No, you don't like Mikey?
Terrible. But I hate the Cowboys, so I don't care. But yeah.
Mike McCarthy is their coach, and I don't think he's the major issue right now for them. They looked like a undefeated team playing in here. I think Dak Prescott's the type of quarterback that you sort of need a system around him, because he does make stupid plays. He does try to run around too much. He gets hurt like freaking every year. So if they have a solid run game, I think at some point Tony Pollard's going to become their starting running back, even though
good.
Sort of starts.
He's a superstar.
Yeah, Tony Pollard's fantastic. So they are a scary, scary team. We have to hope the Vikings stay on the other side of the playoff bracket as them.
Well, they're not going to play the Cowboys. The Cowboys will be like a 4 seed or something. They will not be even close to the 7.
Yeah.
I fear that the 49ers could be the 7 seed. That would also suck. I'm hopeful that we will play A, the Giants, or B, the Seahawks.
Are you right now concerned? How much does that game concern you for the playoffs this year?
It does, very much.
Why?
Because that was a good team, and we just got trounced at home.
I agree, but then we went on the road and beat Buffalo, just as a comeback. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's a very confusing game, I will say.
I will just say this. I think if the Vikings face a team that has a phenomenal pass rush, a.k.a. the Cowboys, a.k.a. the Niners, it is scary. If they can face a team like the Bills I don't know why I brought them up, but we face a team like the Bills, who are a really good team, but their pass rush besides Von Miller isn't that good.
Yes, but they're the number 1 defense in the league, though.
Correct, but I don't think it's all about their pass rush. They have great corners when they're healthy, especially Tre'Davious White. They have great safeties, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. Their linebackers are solid. So I think they're good all around. I don't think they lean on their pass rush as much as the Cowboys or the 49ers. 49ers, Nick Bosa is there. So if the Vikings can face a team like the Eagles, I'm more scared about the Cowboys than the Eagles. Even though the Eagles offense might be better. Just because the Eagles defense, you can run the ball against them pretty well. Their defense is not great against the run. And their pass rushers are a little old now. Fletcher Cox is a little older. Brandon Graham He's a little older. So I'd rather face the Eagles. Who else is there? Who else could we possibly face right
The
now?
Seahawks, the Giants.
Not worried about either of them. Tampa Bay.
We're not going to play them because they're. Well, I'm talking about the first round.
So right now we would face the Giants in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I would love that.
Yeah. Giants at home, I will take us every single day of the week.
Look, listen, at this point, we just have to hope that the 49ers keep winning and that the Seahawks keep losing and that the Giants keep losing and the Cowboys keep winning. We need basically just the teams that we're scared about, we need to keep winning, and the teams we're not scared about need to keep losing. It's pretty simple.
Well, number one priority is to somehow get the 1 seed. That is what we need.
I know. This game
Eagles
didn't help at all.
That Eagles Colts game on Sunday could have been massive because we knew the Vikings weren't going to win every game the rest of the year. We were going to lose a game at some point. Obviously, just lost against the Cowboys. So we knew the Eagles were going to have to help us out a little bit. The Colts trashed it. They should have freaking won that game. They were controlling it the whole way. But yeah, so the Eagles now, let's check their schedule. Packers, Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, New Orleans, Giants. They could lose to the Titans.
And the Packers.
They're not going to lose to the Packers.
You don't know that.
Packers are dead to me. They're dead. Aaron Rodgers is dead. Titans, they could lose. They could lose to the Giants on the road.
I don't think so.
They're going to beat the Bears. They could lose to the Cowboys on the road. New Orleans, Giants. So there are about 3 to 4 games the rest of the way that they legitimately could lose. The Vikings, on the other hand, if we play how we should, New England should beat. Yeah. New England does not scare me. Jets should beat at home, although their defense is good. Lions, Colts, Giants, Packers, Bears.
I actually don't see another loss.
Correct. That's and we're probably going to lose one or more, but we shouldn't. That's the key. Shouldn't lose anymore. We will be favored in every game the rest of the way.
Well, what do you think about this Patriots game?
The only thing that worries me is Bill Belichick will somehow find a way to outcoach Kevin O'Connell, which could be scary. But
he's under 500 without Brady. I'm just going to say it right now.
Correct. I'm not. That's why I said I'm not all that worried about this game because I don't think the Patriots are that good.
Yeah,
their roster is not talented. They do have the leading sacker in the NFL, in Matthew Judon. And
I think what we need to do is we maybe need to put Ezra Cleveland at left tackle for one game.
Yeah, I mean this what's his face? Left tackle guy coming in for Darisaw. Well, I forget his name. Yeah, Blake Brandel friggin' stinks. He's horrible. I mean, they were showing some clips on Sunday when he came into the game. Micah Parsons didn't even try, and he went right around him. I mean, it was
all right.
disgusting.
Well, I think maybe Cleveland needs to move over there.
Yeah, something has to change because they're just going to punish him. They're going to put their best player on him, and they're going to punish him. But I also think someone like C.J. Ham, they should play him more. Keep him in there and block. Dalvin, block. Don't run for a damn pass route. We got JJ and KJ and TJ and Adam to go run the routes. We need people to block.
I agree with you.
That's all we need.
I agree with you. Yeah.
That'll be the key to winning a Super Bowl. Blocking for Kirk.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we head out here? We got some good Vikings talking.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully the Twins re-sign Correa.
Yeah, I think the Twins are going to try, but a lot of money to them is not necessarily a lot of money to other teams.
And he's just going to go to the team who offers the most money.
Probably. Yeah, the Twins traded for Kyle Farmer, Cincinnati Reds shortstop. I think that has nothing to do with Correa's situation. I just think they got him because in case they don't get Correa, and he's probably a stopgap for Royce Lewis. So, Yeah, Kyle Farmer on the Twins. They traded Gio Urshela to the Angels. I like Gio. I miss Gio. Anything else in Twins territory? The New Jerseys. Your thoughts on the New Jerseys and hat?
They're solid. The homes and the Twin Cities I like. The grays with the pinstripe are better.
Yep.
Just the one thing I don't like is the M hat. Sucks.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said. Although I like pretty much every jersey. The hat, I agree. The M hat stinks, but
you know
they
what
only wear that with
combination I potentially really, really like?
What's that?
Is the blue jersey with the gray pinstripe pants on the road.
No,
I like that.
I don't think you can go pinstripe half and solid the other.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Polanco was wearing it, and I think that could be good.
Yeah, I kind of like the blue top with the white pants. That's kind of clean. And I think the white on white home is clean. I think the Twin Cities is nice. And I think the gray pinstripe, full pinstripe, is much improved from the grays that they've been wearing the last few years.
Oh,
those are the worst.
Yes.
All right. Gophers play the Badgers this weekend. What a disappointing game on Saturday.
Terrible.
Mo Ibrahim friggin' runs for 1,000 yards and they still lose somehow. Yeah. PJ Fleck was asked in his Monday press conference, what needs to change in the passing game if it's like philosophically, if it's just playing. He said they just have to play better, which that's not the answer I was looking for. I was hoping he would say something sort of like, I have to recruit better. We have to change the way we throw, maybe throw more, because that will loosen up other things. But no, he just says we have to play better, which is the last thing I wanted to hear because our receivers stink. And I'm not sure what the recruiting is for wide receivers coming in, but it better be better.
I don't think it is. And he just hasn't been a great recruiter.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time he's gotten by with poor recruiting just because he gets the most out of players, which is still true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to be an elite team, you have to recruit better players. It's not just all about the type of person and culture, because that's what he recruits is culture and the type of person you are.
That doesn't win. You're seeing with the Wild right now. That does not win.
No, the Wild, on the other hand, they stink. They're worse than the Wolves already.
Well, no one was expecting them to be better than the Wolves.
Oh, I think some people did.
No, they weren't.
At what point does Bill Guerin get a little hate?
He will never.
Stupid.
For some reason, he will never.
I think Bill Guerin talks too much. I'm not the biggest Bill Guerin fan. I think he talks a little too much. He is an open book, which I can respect to a certain extent, but he thinks he's hot shit, and I'm not there for it. All right. I think we hit on everything. Borsty, thanks for coming on. Please like and subscribe
to the
JT Sports Show. This will be out in the next hour or so. Please follow us on all social media platforms. But besides that, we gone.